How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Conti and Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The first time they go offense, they take Jordan Love? They take Jordan Love!
Listen, Matisse Thybulle will lock up CP3.
Oh my god.
Chris Paul.
Oh my god.
Chris Paul, baby. Right, Will?
Nope, I totally disagree. Look. Welcome back to Conti and Nick. I'm Will
these
Nicholson.
French fries are good, man.
They are some good French fries. I'm Will Nicholson. As always, I have with me Gino Conti. And oh man, I mean, has it been a free agency so far?
Jake
bogus.
says bogus
Already.
This is bogus!
Tommy
You
Heinsohn.
gotta take it to the basket!
We're back, Conti and Nick. I mean, it has been free agency, just craziness going on. And I think we're going to jump into it semi-quickly because, dude, stuff is happening, right? Stuff's happening.
Let me tell you what happened. I took a look at Baines in the shower.
He looks like all of Australia.
Australia.
Love Tommy. Rest in peace to one of the
rest
goats.
in peace, Tommy, but that one you may want to forget about.
Yeah, you may want to forget about that one. But look, I got my phone propped up right now because, I mean, not only are we reacting to free agency, this is like a live. It might be a live reaction.
Yeah,
I
we're
was
grading.
Yeah, we're grading too. To our team's free agency, but yeah, I mean, I have my phone propped up just in case, and I hinted at it. A Deshaun trade could happen. It could. It's very possible. So,
yeah, this is gonna be so. We've had like a couple of minor moves, I'd say, happen.
Yes.
While like the show's going on, but let me tell you, I don't think we've had a true bomb. You know what I mean?
Not
I
yet.
don't think we've had like a true like, oh my god, like
the Von Miller one, kinda. That just
kind
happened.
of, yeah, that happened like a half hour.
Yeah.
ago. You know,
Yeah,
and,
literally
and
right
boom,
before
there
we
we
set
go.
up.
There he is on the thumbnail.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, where do we start? I mean, I have the Jets as my first team.
Yeah, we'll start with the Jets.
Personally, I think that they made some good moves that we could definitely talk about.
Sure.
So how do you feel? Feel good?
Yeah, I'll jump into the Jets.
Cool. So, the free agency moves for the New York Jets. I have them all listed right here. We also have them on our screen.
Yes.
I will list them out for you right here. Offensive guard Lincoln Tomlinson, 3-year, $27 million. Re-signed Braxton Berrios, 2 years, $12 million. They re-signed Tevin Coleman, 1 year, $1.5 million. Tight end CJ Uzoma they
Big
signed,
pickup.
3 years, $24 million, $8 million a year. Cornerback DJ Reed, an under-the-radar one, 3 year, $33 million. Jordan Whitehead, starting safety of Tampa Bay, 2 years, $14 million. That's a pretty good one. So to me, the way I look at it and the grade that I give them with those moves so far, I gave them an A.
Wow.
Will, I gave them an A.
That's generous.
Listen, you think so?
I'd give this
'Cause
like
look
a C plus B minus.
C plus B minus.
Yeah, they didn't really do anything massive, I guess. I mean, look, you need to help out Zach Wilson, right? You have to help him out. Me and you have talked about it. We like the Elijah Vera Tucker pickup. We like Becton, the big left tackle.
Love Mekhi Becton.
Yeah, and you know, we love the moves they make in general. I like CJ Uzama. Braxton Berrios was honestly their unsung hero this year, so I like it. But it doesn't pop out an A. For me, an A is Russell Wilson to the Broncos. That's what I give an
So
A.
here's the
But for the situation, I could say, yeah, they probably did the best. You get Joe Flacco, who, you know, you need
a veteran presence.
A veteran presence. Yeah, overall, DJ Reed, pretty good deal. 3 year, $33 million. I mean, we take that. Jordan Whitehead, like you said, is
He's a
another
starter.
great deal. Yeah.
And if
for
you
sure.
lose Marcus May to get a
Which they
start,
are, I think.
I'm
Have
sorry,
they
they
already?
did. He
Okay.
went to the Saints. So you lose Marcus May to get a solid caliber guy in his place, even though he might be a tick worse than Marcus May, or even on his level, I'd say. Like maybe on his best day is on Marcus May's level, and to only have him for $7 million a year, a starting safety, I think that's a win, man. So the only reason why, the reason why I give it an A, okay, is because they signed a bunch of solid guys. Okay, they didn't make a splash. Okay, they didn't do anything that was whoa, like knock your socks off.
It was decent, though.
Lincoln Tomlinson was a Pro Bowl guard. That's a Pro Bowl caliber guard, and that's nothing to snooze over. $27 million guaranteed. So
Both their guards now. I mean, you got Elijah Vera
Elijah
Tucker,
Vera
and now you
Tucker,
got
who you're
Thompson.
not paying. Mekhi Becton,
Tomlinson.
who you're not paying.
Yep.
George Fant, who's pretty damn good at tackle.
Uzama should be a good pickup for that offense. I said this on the podcast. I think the Jets will be better this year.
You said that a
I
couple
don't
weeks
think
ago.
they're going to be a playoff team. I think the AFC is really, really good. I will say, if they were an NFC like East team, maybe they make it. I mean, that's not saying
We'll
much,
see.
but
So yeah, but the only reason I put them put it this high as an A is because like the way I look at it. Yeah, you didn't get, like I said, that splash guy, but I mean, Lincoln Tomlinson, he's familiar with Robert
Great
Saleh.
pickup.
Okay, like these are all guys, not all of them, but they're all guys from the NFC, so they know the tendencies of Robert Saleh. They got some guys on defense who know Robert Saleh. Okay, these are all moves that make sense.
Yes.
Okay, like
they didn't do anything crazy.
Yeah, they didn't.
Their
do
tight
anything
end
crazy.
for sure needed work, and they went and got Uzama, which is good.
Yeah,
And they didn't even pay that much for him. That's what, $8 million a year? Yeah,
and that's
good.
not crazy.
No.
Evan Ingram is getting paid more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, they didn't do anything like a Russell Wilson trade. They didn't do that.
They didn't have
But
to, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly, because they know they're not going to win yet. If they are,
I would have liked them to take a shot at Devontae, but I know that's kind of a fever dream.
at Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but
Well,
I predicted. I even made a post that they'd get the Honey Badger and J.C. Jackson.
Yes.
We'll see about the Honey Badger, but I was clearly wrong about J.C. Will actually
Sure.
called that.
I did. This
Yeah.
was like my first real free agency call. I mean, like a hard one. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we could have said Brady come back, whatever.
I mean, it's
but
no Ramondre Stevenson. But
It is no Ramondre
I'm just
Stevenson.
joking.
That was
But-
insane. I still
No,
can't believe that.
but I mean, the way I look at it, I mean, I always say if you know that you're not in a spot to compete, don't overpay. Just
That's
make
fair.
a bunch of solid moves.
That's what
Okay.
the New York Knicks
And
do.
yeah,
Every offseason.
absolutely.
They overpay for talent that is just not needed.
Yeah, and they know they're not going to win. They know they're not going to compete.
You know you're probably going to get... What pick do they have in the draft? 3?
I don't know yet.
I think they
Yeah.
have 3. So they're
Oh,
probably...
the Jets? Oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I thought you were saying the Knicks. Oh,
No,
I thought
no,
you were
no.
saying, I'm like, I have no fucking idea.
No idea. The Jets have 3 though, right?
I think they either 3 or 5. I think
Okay.
they have 2 first-round picks.
They do.
3 and 9, right? I think it's 3
that's
and 9
the
or 3
Eagles,
and 10.
right?
No, I think it's 3 and
Okay.
whatever. Well, I don't know.
I don't know the draft yet. We're getting there.
Yeah.
But my point is, like, they know that they're going to be able to go out and they're going to get, like, probably Hutchinson or Thibodeau the way that it's looking.
Maybe.
So you're going to get a possible generational edge rusher, or even if the kid from Alabama, Neal, falls, the left tackle. I mean, you don't need him, but, like, that's a tradable pick. That's something that people will overpay for. So I like what the Jets are doing because you know you're about to get a generational talent, hopefully, or you're going to trade the
to
pick.
get a
but-
slew of picks.
Exactly. A lot's going to happen for the Jets. And I've been saying this since the draft. I've liked what the Jets are doing. I think they have a pretty good owner, and I think that they have a pretty good GM. And Robert Saleh, I still don't know, but for now, it's okay.
I
You
mean,
know what
look,
I mean?
he's clearly getting guys to come in at an affordable
Sure.
price.
Yes.
And, like, name guys, too, not just some guys you've never heard of before.
Exactly.
He's getting name talent. The biggest signing they made was for a Pro Bowl guard, and it wasn't even outrageous.
Yeah,
So-
3 or $40 million for a great guard. I mean, that's a good deal.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's why I personally
If the
give-
Bucks made this would be everywhere. You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why personally I give them an A. You
That's
know,
fair.
I mean, this is how you build a team, and if they draft well, like you said, they could possibly make some noise.
Exactly.
So that's why that's why I say that. Well,
We're
that's why I give
manifesting
them
the
an A.
Jets being good on Conti and Nick.
I know.
No, I agree with you on the Jets.
What if we become?
Should we jump to the other top 2 pick quarterback from last year? Jump to that team?
Go ahead.
Do a little Jags? All right. We'll do the Jags. I mean, they haven't done, looking for AFC South. There we go. They've made some moves. They've
To say the least.
to say some, I mean, they haven't done, in the grand scheme of things, anything massive besides the money they've paid. They've made some moves, but not the moves you would like.
Exactly.
And they threw a lot of money.
So
First of all, this Christian Kirk, before we even get into it, we need to address the elephant in the room. Holy, was that an overpay?
Oh my
One
god.
of the worst ever.
Oh my god.
It's awful.
Did you? So if you guys pay attention to the Conti and Nick posts, you would see that 13 players. So he's getting paid 17 million a year annually. Okay, 13 million a year. I believe what it said. There were like 20 something guys
Yes.
who got paid or who are currently getting paid more than at the wide receiver position. Only one of them has not had a 1,000-yard season in their career. I mean, what the hell are you doing,
The
Jacksonville?
only one? Christian
Yeah,
Kirk.
he is the only one. And where's the logic? I mean, Christian Kirk, I mean, by no means is he a scrub. Okay, but you're telling me in a high-powered offense where DeAndre Hopkins was hurt most of the year, so you'd get increased opportunities. If you disappear, which he did, he deserves all that money? No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Absolutely not.
He doesn't.
I mean, does Christian Kirk make your team better?
Does not.
No,
He
not
does
really.
not.
He does improve your receiving core, like I said.
A little bit,
Yeah,
but,
by,
like-
by no means is he like some, I don't know. If Zay Jones got this money, okay, we'd be like, oh! But like, this is Christian Kirk, and we're still kind of like, oh.
I know.
But do you know what I'm trying to say?
It's a tough contract.
Very tough.
Even the Zay Jones isn't a great contract.
I know.
mean, $8 million a year for Zay Jones.
Here we go. Here's all of them. Okay. Offensive guard Brandon Scherf. I'm gonna get into that. Okay. No, I don't like that at all. Linebacker Foysaid Alokon. He's actually been breaking out. Okay, he's somebody who is an unsung hero. I feel like defenders in Atlanta just don't ever get mentioned.
They
ever.
don't.
Like
Because that defense is awful and gives them a lot of points.
Yeah, people who play defense in Atlanta just get zero attention. Okay, and Alokon was actually somebody who was meant to be a sleeper, but the Jags were just like, screw that. We're not going to pay you like a sleeper. We're going to give you $15 million a year. I mean, it's a risk, but I think he's going to produce, and I think that's actually one that will pay off. So I don't mind it. Okay. We just got into Christian Kirk, 4 years, 72 mil. Or sorry, 4 years, 84 mil with 72 guaranteed.
Yes.
Evan Ingram, 1 year, 9 mil. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's a little overpay in my opinion, but it's only for 1 year, so it doesn't bother me. Okay. Zay Jones, 8 year, 24 million. I actually like Zay Jones, so I'm not gonna complain that much. I do like Zay Jones.
It's an understandable contract.
Yeah, and then
I think it's a little bit of
Darius Williams. Okay, I forgot about Foloroso Fatukasi, I think his name is. He's actually an underrated run stuffer, a good defensive tackle. Okay, so that's not that bad
for $10 million a year. I mean,
yeah, I mean a little overpaid. But...
I mean, the Jags got money, I guess. But...
Yeah, and then 3 years, 30 mil for Darius Williams, who actually is a pretty good player. So I'm not gonna gripe over that one.
Sure.
But so, what's your grade overall for the Jaguars?
I gave the Jags D.
A D.
I mean, I don't like any of the moves that they made. I think
like any of them?
No, I really didn't. I think Christian Kirk was an overpay. I think that they signed a lot of guys who they just want their fans to get excited about free agency, and I hate that bad organizations do this. They make moves just for the sake of making them moves. Like in the Patriots, we don't make a lot of moves, and as fans, we get upset with it. But we're also a homegrown team. You know what I mean? A lot of the players that are good with us, we draft. But, you know, as last year as an exception, we don't do a whole lot in free agency. But this is the Jags. It looks like they're just making moves to make moves. Oh, we need a wide receiver. Oh, so Trevor has someone to throw to. Oh, Christian Kirk's out there. Let's throw him the bag. Zay Jones? Yeah, sure, we'll give him money. Let's overpay for Evan Ingram. Oh, I actually don't mind the Cam Robinson.
I do. I mind the Cam Robinson, and I mind the Brandon Scherf.
Sure.
I think they made two terrible moves on the offensive line.
The Brandon Scherf one is bad. This one, at least it's a franchise tag. You know what I mean?
I hate it. There's no reason for it, in my opinion.
And then everything else is just, I mean, Darius Williams.
He's good. So he's good, and to get a good corner is going to cost you $10 million.
Sure. And you know what? That's the one I'll give them. But all of this, it's overpay. All of it seems to me like it's overpay.
I don't mind Darius. So I'll tell you the ones here I don't mind. I gave them a C+.
Okay.
Okay, I gave them a C+ for my grade. So the ones that I don't mind, Darius Williams and Alokon, I don't mind that. Fatukasi is a little bit of an overpay. But again, at this point in the NFL, to get a starting quality player, you're going to need to pay a decent amount.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's fine. They have money.
Yeah. And so Evan Ingram, I could have gone without. But again, it's only 1 year. So my philosophy is if you're going to overpay, make it a short-term deal. Yeah, exactly. Make it a year, make it 2 years. Zay Jones, I'm not crazy about. But at the same time, I like him personally, so I'm not going to kill it. So Brandon Scherf and Cam Robinson. These are the two that I have a huge gripe with, okay? Do you understand that this man, Brandon Scherf, has not played more than 13 games since 2017?
I did not know that.
He isn't first of all, let me clarify. He's an elite guard. When he's healthy, if somehow, some way he stays healthy, he is an elite player, and I eat my words, he's worth every penny.
Sure.
Okay, this man he literally has not played, again, I'll repeat, more than 13 games since 2017. It is now 2022 when we have added an extra game.
That is pretty crazy.
Like, what? When
Can't stay on the field.
When you cannot stay on the field, and you have a man who was dubbed as a generational talent, why do you take that risk? And Cam Robinson, too. Like, I understand that's a franchise tag, but it's a pretty hefty one. Right?
It is.
So why this draft was known and notorious for its heavy offensive line?
Dude, they have the number 1 pick.
They had the number 1.
You know what this is?
They could have picked Evan Neal and not have to pay
what
Robinson.
I'm about to say, instead of going Evan Neal, this to me looks like they might be looking more towards Hutchinson.
That's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, and that was kind of my thought process as they signed Robinson and Scherf. So, in my opinion, Hutchinson's going to go number 1 now. But at the same time, like, what the hell are you thinking? Like, why would you pay that much money for one Cam Robinson, a guy who has shown flashes of being good, like shown flashes of being a franchise guy, but is inconsistent as hell.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have another one in Sheriff who can't stay on the field. So
It's bad.
what's the logic again, especially when you have such an offensive line heavy draft? Like, what is your? I don't know. Will, do you have an explanation? I mean,
Oh, Jesus.
sorry, I don't know.
First of all, I got word that we might be getting a fire drill in a second, but it happened last night, so I don't know.
Are we about to have a fire drill?
We might.
Oh shit.
But anyway, we'll look into that. Yeah, I don't understand the Jags.
Yeah, neither do I.
Simply
Is the
put-
fire alarm gonna go whoop and then scare the shit out of us?
No, it's not that loud.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah. So, where do you want to jump to real quick while I figure this out?
All right. So, do you want me to take over for like 2 minutes?
No, I'm just gonna
Oh,
text.
okay,
I got a
good.
text from Colin. Shout out Colin.
Yes.
Ayers.
Thank you, Colin. You're a G.
Yeah.
All right. So, I had the Miami Dolphins. Okay. So, me personally, I'll list off their signings real quick. Hopefully, the fire alarm doesn't go off. Okay. We're at BSU. We're back at BSU. Last week we were in the Nicholson household. Wide receiver Cedric Wilson, 3 years, 23 mil. Running back Chase Edmonds, 2 year, 12.6 mil. Teddy Bridgewater, quarterback, 1 year, 6.5 mil. They re-signed Emmanuel Ogbah for 4 years, 65 mil. And then they got starting guard for the Cowboys there last year, Connor Williams, 2 year, 7.5 million a year. So that's 14 mil. Did I get it right? Where is it, Connor Williams? Yeah, $14 million deal. Yep. So to me, Will, I don't know about you, I gave him an A+.
All right.
I gave
Update.
him-
Fire alarm's not gonna go off. I was right.
Woohoo!
It happened yesterday.
Thank
so
the Lord
it
Almighty.
was the building next to us. But,
Thank the Lord.
right.
So
I
a little
mean-
bit of a freak out there.
Yeah. I give this. I mean.
I give him an A+.
Yeah.
A+ for me. I think they won.
I-
I think they win.
I don't think they win necessarily. You know who deserves an A+? Jumbro, but also I think the Bills deserve an A+. And you disagree, and I know you disagree. But look, we'll get back to the Dolphins. I like it. I'll give it an A-, maybe a B+ around there. These are good moves. I like these. I like Teddy Bridgewater backing up Tua, because worst case, Tua's on the fence right now. If Tua doesn't work, you have Teddy. He doesn't necessarily win you games. He doesn't lose you games, which is, what Miami needs at this point. Technically, they have a great team. I like Chase Edmonds. I think first of all, I think that's underpaying Chase Edmonds.
That's a very low-key deal.
It's
Especially,
super
let's not
low-key.
forget, going into that San Francisco-style offense with Mike McDaniel. I think he's going to be an absolute fit
Yep.
there. I think Chase Edmonds is going to be great.
I like the Cedric Wilson deal because people go, 22 mil. Only 12 of that is guaranteed. That's not that big of a cap hit.
And it's over the span of 3 years.
Exactly. And I think he's going to be a very, reliable wide receiver. He was pretty good on the Cowboys.
Listen,
he's more of that vertical deep threat. But
So when he was buried in the depth chart, he didn't produce much.
yeah.
But when he was actually given opportunities, like with Dak Prescott, albeit throw it to him, but still he thrived.
Miami's kind of in need of that deep threat too, because you have Jalen Waddle, who is, in my opinion, a little bit more of a slot guy, but he's a rookie.
slot guy.
It's hard to judge, right?
Preston Williams
he's so
is that
fast.
big guy.
Sure. But
And they
it's
re-signed
hard.
him to a 1 year
Okay.
deal too.
And also, Gesicki's kind of like that intermediate. I like that franchise tag. I like Connor Williams. I think that's good. Emmanuel Ogbah, like you said, that's a decent deal.
I like it a lot. He finally came through when it was needed because he had a ton of talent, he had a ton of upside, but I believe he played with the Colts and the Browns, and he didn't really unleash it. He finally did with the defensive end here, or with the Miami Dolphins. I think he did an excellent job, and he's been underrated, and I'm happy he's finally getting his due.
I agree. I think the Dolphins, this is pretty much all the spending they're going to do, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think they're done, and this is pretty good.
They had a lot
It's
of
a
cap
complete
space.
team.
They
Yes.
had a lot of cap space, okay?
And they spread it out well.
And want to know
Landon Roberts, sure. Like,
Yeah,
at that
whatever.
point, whatever.
So, want to know what I love about this? They had a ton of cap. It's going to be kind of similar to what I said about the Jets. They had a ton of cap space. I believe it was either the first or the second behind Jacksonville.
It was
I
up
believe
there.
like a top two. Okay, and they got impact players, and they barely spent. They didn't spend a lot of money. Well, besides Emmanuel Ogbah, They really didn't spend a lot of money at all, and they got guys who were underrated signings, and they got paid like underrated.
And Miami's not rebuilding, in my opinion. I think Miami's ready to be a playoff team.
They were a borderline playoff team.
Yeah, last year and the year before that,
they were in the seventh. They were in the 7th seed for the last couple of weeks.
They were.
Remember, and then they lost. But still, I mean, I have questions about Mike McDaniel as a coach.
I was about to mention the coach because
Yeah.
Brian Flores is a phenomenal head coach, and it's a shame to see him go from there and all those circumstances. But he's going to do great in Pittsburgh now, I believe
he's a defensive assistant.
In Pittsburgh,
yeah.
Okay.
He's not even the DC.
No,
he's a defensive assistant.
He'll make his way up. Brian Flores is a great locker room guy. But I have questions about Daniels, but we'll see. These were great moves though. Miami, look, I argue this all the time. You can have a bad team as long as you have good ownership. You can be bad, right? Miami, bad. Now they have good ownership. They draft well. Boom. New England, best coach ever. You're bad for a year. You're back in the playoffs. It's all about the way you make pieces fit together, and I think all these guys fit pretty well in this system.
Yeah, and again, like I can't emphasize enough, Cedric Wilson and Chase Edmonds, 2 guys who were actually known in the league, but got paid like sleeper picks. It's so important because we were just talking about Jacksonville making splash signings, like huge deals, just for the sake of making huge deals. Okay, that guy Alucon, who I brought up, who was a guy who was emerging and is emerging, and I think is going to do well. But he was known as like an under the radar guy, and he got paid a lot. What happened?
We got our first live signing of the night. It's nothing big. Don't get your hopes up. It's another Jets pick. They're signing tight end Tyler
Conklin.
Yeah, to a what was this? I didn't see. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, he's like a good, solid backup tight end.
Sure.
You know, nothing wrong with having Tyler Conklin on your team, so that's pretty good. I like that.
We'll take a peek, really. I don't wonder if they have the deal up here already.
No, they don't have it up yet.
No, okay.
But I mean, I believe, in my opinion, the Dolphins get an A+ from me. I see nothing wrong with what they did, and if Cedric Wilson continues to get the volume of snaps that he does, and then continues to produce like he did, and even excel more, 3 years, $22 million is going to be the bargain of the century for Cedric Wilson.
It could be.
I mean, and again, Chase Edmonds, I mean, what they had at running back last year was atrocious. I mean, they had guys like Duke Johnson towards the end of the year, guys who can't even stay on the team. Okay, Chase Edmonds is going to give them a good running game and a good dynamic with that offense. I'm
Absolutely.
in my opinion, Miami Dolphins won free agency so far.
Yeah.
So far.
You want to move to the Pats real quick?
Sure.
I'll talk some Patriots.
This will probably be a 5-minute segment.
Yeah, it'll go pretty quickly. You know, no easy way to say it. My grade C. They didn't do anything great. They didn't, you know what I mean? But I mean, this is the Patriots every year. I mean, we're used to it.
Yeah.
But like, I will say I don't like not re-signing JC, even though they were close to paying him.
Yeah. I mean, hey. I mean, at that point, if we're close to paying him, he made the decision on his own, and there's nothing we can do about it.
To go through, I gave grades for pretty much every player, just like one word. So Hoyer, okay.
Whatever.
White, decent. Wilson for Winovich, fine. McCourty, good, and Nick Folk, good.
Yeah.
Those are both important guys to the team, I think. But I mean, this is just a lot of keeping the guys that, you know, this is the Patriots. It's what they do low-key every year. It's like, okay, we keep Brian Hoyer. Okay, we get back James White, and that's probably the biggest deal that they did, realistically.
And then we did sign Terrence Mitchell. I mean, and he was somebody who was a 7th-round pick 2 years ago, and he made his way through Cleveland and Houston. Obviously, didn't really make any noise. But this is what the Patriots are notorious for. I mean, they're famous for getting these people.
He'll be an All-Pro this year.
Yeah, he'll be an All-Pro this year.
It's how it happens.
Yeah, exactly. And you can list it, Don Hausberger, in your little archives.
You can.
So I mean, there you go. There's really not much to say. I mean, if I were to give them,
quick.
if I were to give them a grade, I'd also give them a C. So I'm with you on that one. So I have the Chargers next.
Yes, I was about to say that too.
I have the
team who got Jason.
God, I keep calling them San Diego Chargers.
It's habit.
Yeah, it happens. So, I mean, I give them an A.
I give them an A-.
I
like it.
Okay, yeah. So I give them an A. You give them an A-.
No.
So here we go. I mean, it's going to be kind of quick too because there's not really a ton to go over here. But I mean, they got J.C. Jackson, the big one, $5 million, 82.5. They acquired Khalil Mack for a 2nd rounder and a 6th rounder. Huge. Okay, and they got, what does it say right there? Sebastian Joseph Day. He's a good defensive tackle. 3-year, $24 million. I mean, those are really the big ones. And then obviously
Mike Williams, we talked about.
We talked about. I'm not a big fan of that one, but
they have money. They had money.
Yeah, they do.
If Christian Kirk can get the bag.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I give the Chargers an A. I think obviously Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson. I mean, you look at those two names right
Deadly.
there, you see that, and I'm like,
Deadly.
on paper,
We
they
talked
look
about
unstoppable.
this too, which is funny. We talked about, man, what if they get JC? I mean, it's a reality now where you have
you called it, like I
Asante
said.
Samuel Jr. now on that
Derwin
defense.
James,
Derwin
JC
James at
Jackson.
safety. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
I mean, I if they all
It's
pan
gonna
out,
be a great defense.
everything looks good on paper. I will say that we will see. Okay, the Chargers last year did not run a lot of man coverage, and JC
didn't.
Jackson thrives off of being on man coverage. So we'll see. Okay, so in my opinion, JC might be bag chasing. I don't blame him because he was an undrafted guy.
How could you not? You're an undrafted guy.
Yeah.
You get a 5-year, what was it, 120 mil, something like that? Or
No, it was
wasn't that
5
much.
year. It was 5-year,
82
82.5
mil.
mil.
My
So-
bad. I was
No, you're good.
but
So that's the way I look at it.
how
I
could
go,
you not? You're in LA.
yeah,
Come
I mean,
on.
so the only thing
I'd sign it.
I
Are
will
you kidding
say-
me?
I mean, I understand, but if the Pats were this close to signing him, which means they did show interest, okay, then J.C. Jackson, like again, I will say it's bag chasing. It is completely and utterly bag chasing. If you got either the same or a similar offer from the team you at, I think this
But
is
you
a
get to go to
mistake.
Sunnyside,
I
California.
get it.
man.
No, I get it. But this is a mistake, in my opinion. This is an absolute mistake.
For the Chargers or for JC?
The for both.
Okay.
Well, not for the Chargers because if you can get a guy like JC, you take it. So
Yes.
this is a mistake if you're JC
and
Jackson.
they have money.
Yeah.
This isn't like the Bills where they're going to be in cap hell for the next couple of
Oh my
years.
god. But
Even though they
anyways,
are anyway.
yeah, so the last year what Brandon Staley does, because this is his defense, let's be real, he's a defensive minded guy.
Yep.
They ran lots of cover 4,
Yes.
which is not what and at all really what the Patriots run. They're a very, very heavy man coverage team. I personally believe that JC Jackson is going to be a little out of his element. He's a top 5 or a borderline top 5 corner. I think he's going to slip to like a top 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't
I
think
could see it. I
Yeah.
think there's a world where he performs very, very, very well in this system, but Cam takes his Chargers A+.
I
It,
have him
it
as
was
an A.
great.
I
It was
have him as
great.
an A.
I think. See, I don't give A pluses because that would be like the absolute
Perfect.
peak. You know, it
Yeah.
it doesn't happen. An A minus. I think that, and I'm not saying that because Gino gave an A, and I Gino thinks that they did a little bit better.
No.
For
The
me,
difference between an A minus and an A
well, I'm
is
saying the
so
max
minuscule,
that
yeah.
this team could have done is an A minus in my opinion, and I think they hit the peak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and listen, Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson, if they both perform to the level they're capable of performing to, watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out. This defense is going to be something to
Khalil
behold.
Mack.
Okay,
And Joey
absolute-
Bosa.
And Joey Bosa, Derwin James, and J.C. Jackson.
Asante
That is a
Samuel.
4-headed monster. Yeah, that could potentially be a 5-headed monster,
Yeah.
which is insane. The reason why I actually don't give them an A+, but besides Mike Williams, they didn't really do anything on offense. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I mean, did you really need to though?
Yeah,
I don't think
do.
you had to do a whole lot.
I mean, they lost.
they were one of the best
They lost,
offenses.
they lost to the Raiders last year.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
but you got to keep in mind that defense was not good. In my opinion, the one thing the Chargers had to do, and they've done this every year. Last year it was okay. Justin Herbert had the worst O-line in the league, and he still performed well. Go get him an O-line. They did. They took Slater.
Rashawn Slater.
They took Rashawn Slater.
And they signed Corey Linsley.
Yes. So they went from one of the worst offensive line to I think one of the top 5 in the league
A
statistically.
good one. A very good one.
Very good O-line, and that's great. This year, not a good defensive team. Gave up a lot of yards, gotten a lot of shootouts where Justin Herbert had to try and bail him out. This year, you go and get playmakers on defense, and these are perfect, Brandon Staley guys, in my opinion. He likes his playmakers. That's what Justin Herbert is. That's what Mike Williams is. That's what Keenan Allen is. They're big-time playmakers. It's okay. Let's get our offensive playmakers the ball more by getting these defensive playmakers that are going to take the ball, a.k.a. your Khalil Mack, who's going to get strip sacks and, just sacks in general. JC, who in theory is going to get picks. You're still not paying Asante Samuel. Joey Bosa is on a
He's
big
getting
contract
paid.
now,
Yep,
I believe.
yep. He's
Okay.
on a big contract.
When was that? Was that last year?
I think last year or the year before.
Okay.
But
So he's getting paid now. So their money is very well spread out. But this wasn't crazy, but they were the right moves, in my opinion. So,
well, I mean, like I said, if these two guys, especially Khalil Mack and JC, perform to the level that they're being paid and perform and like their if they live up to their potential, watch out. This is a scary defense.
if you're the
Okay.
Chargers too, even if they didn't perform well, you took a chance, you had money, you paid a bunch of guys in free agency, playmakers, and they didn't end up working out. Okay, scratch it, go next. You have 10 years of Justin Herbert.
So
You'll be fine.
So I'm not. This isn't me trying to call you out, Will. Okay, like I'm not calling you out, but I do recall you saying a couple weeks ago you think that if JC either stays at the Patriots or goes to the Bengals. Otherwise, he'll be like Jamie Collins.
Yes.
Do you still believe that now that he's gone to LA?
You know what?
I'm not trying to call you out.
No,
like
that's
I said,
fine.
yeah.
I'll retract that.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't think this was a possibility. I said this because I was thinking Chargers need defense, they need corner. J.C. Jackson's available, they have money. I will say I'll retract that statement because he went to a team that actually needs him. You know what I mean? And not just him, but he's a piece. They didn't need JC at corner. You know what I mean?
But the problem I have though is like, again, I understand that a team needs J.C. Jackson, but again, like his schematics don't match up with the way this team runs. Obviously, they could change to a heavy man defense.
But JC's a smart guy, though. I think he'll figure it out. But...
Well, I understand, but like you have to remember that Bill Belichick is. I understand a lot of people don't like him because he's not doing anything in free agency this year. But boohoo, kiss the rings, you dumbasses.
He's a smart dude.
I saw
that comment on the Patriots post.
Shut up and kiss the rings.
Good job, Gino.
Shut up and kiss the rings.
I agree.
Anyways, okay, so he's being run. I wouldn't say out of position, but he's not being run on the scheme that fits his strength. And Belichick is always known, even if he is a little bit of a prick, like underpaying his guys, he's known to play players at their absolute strength. So, again, I'm concerned. Like I said, I don't think he'll be like a Jamie Collins flop, but I think he'll go in the discussion from a top 5 borderline corner to maybe a top 10.
Sure.
So I think
he's getting paid now, you know? It's
yeah, and I think there'll be a slight regression there. And to me, it's like, damn, was he really worth that money then if you know he's going to regress?
Overall, I guess my closing statement, thank you, J.C. Jackson, for everything you did for the Patriots.
See you later.
Great dude, and
Bye.
Congratulations on getting your
Bye.
money. And Gino means sarcastically, I mean it seriously.
Bye.
I love when I love when late round guys perform well and get money. Hard work pays off. Congratulations,
Bye.
Adios, JC.
Adios and
Can we do Cincinnati real quick? That's another people.
That's what I have next.
Okay,
too.
perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gave Cincinnati. I gave them a B-.
A B-.
A B-.
That's a little surprising to me, man. You gotta explain that one.
Okay, look. Alex Kappa, very good signing. Okay, I like it. You get a guy from the Buccaneers, good offensive lineman. I like Karras to an extent. I think that's okay. I mean, at least they're trying at O-line.
I mean, $6 million a year for a starting caliber guard is good. It's very good.
But he's okay. You know what I mean? BJ Hill, I think that's an okay signing.
He performed well
re-signing him.
He performed well.
He did. Yeah. That's bringing the defense back. And I said keeping Jesse Bates was great.
Oh, of course.
The franchise.
Absolutely. So, I mean, they didn't make a lot of moves, which is a little surprising to me.
I want them to do more with the O-line. That's why I give it a B-, because I think they could have possibly done more. I would have liked to see them make a move at JC. But I'm hopeful that they'll do something in the draft. They need to. This draft is going to be loaded with guys late. They need to go get...
So, what I will say, I gave them an A-.
Okay.
I gave the Bengals an A- because Alex Kappa for $40 million a year, 4-year, $40 million. Okay, you have Ted Karras, 3-year, $18 million. And then you have BJ Hill, who's 3-year, $30 million. Like, these aren't crazy numbers, really, by any means. But Alex Kappa, he's a Pro Bowl caliber guy. Getting him for $10 million a year, in my opinion, is a steal. In my opinion, that's kind of a steal. Okay, and then Ted Karras is a tick below Alex Kappa. But I think he proved this year that moving from center to guard was really the best move for him. And he turned himself into a starting quality lineman. And when you can pay a starting quality lineman $6 million a year, in my opinion, you won. Yeah. Okay, so the way I look at it now,
besides Jesse Bates, I think the Kappa move was their best.
Absolutely, yeah. I completely agree.
I think the Bates move is the best, though, and I don't think it's close.
Yeah,
you needed that safety because, like we said, that secondary was not good.
The corners, especially.
The corners, especially.
Absolutely.
I like Hilton. I like him to an extent. I like Bates, but those corners were bad. Eli Apple's got to go. And, maybe they make a move in the draft. Who knows?
For offensive linemen?
For O-line. I think the O-line is going to fall. I think people think O-linemen are going to go way quicker than they are.
As they should.
Yeah.
Yeah, as they should.
I don't think they are, though. I think Evan Neal, then you got a couple of other good guys, and then I think...
Ekonwu?
Yes.
Yeah, you have Lindenbaum.
Yes.
Don't forget about Zion Johnson.
Yes.
So you got some...
Who had a great combine.
You have Trevor Penning.
Yes.
Trevor Penning. So you actually got some big names there.
But people are going to reach for these defensive guys like a lot.
Yeah, we'll see.
And that's why they're going to fall. Not that these offensive linemen aren't good. I think that this is going to be a great O-line draft, but it's about what people need. And a lot of these teams in the top 10, top 15, defense. Need it. It's gonna go. Gino's gonna love it. There's gonna be like 5
If
corners.
it's offensive line or any sort of defense, I love it. This is why I'm a huge fan of this draft, and I can't wait till we do our mock draft.
That's fair.
Because
We have a Von Miller update, which might change your mind a little bit. The contract got messed up, so
it's not 6 years, 120.
So the guaranteed money is only $45 million.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. You know,
It was like 60 something though.
Still, you know, I mean,
It's
still
still a lot of
absurd.
money.
It's still absurd.
Yeah.
It's still absolutely absurd. So I mean, and then
That was the one Conti and Nick live update.
Ugh,
Everything dies when we start the show.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm still pissed about it. Okay.
Sure.
But anyway, so real quick, let's move at the 1 through 5. Well, I want to say 1 through 5. I don't mean like basketball. Left tackle, you have Jonah Williams. He really was their only decent offensive lineman. Everything else, in my opinion, needed a change. You got your left guard in Ted Karras. Center, you need to address. I think they get Tyler Lindenbaum.
Or they could move Alex Kappa back to center, like you said.
No, Karras.
Karras, sorry.
So they could move Karras to center, but I think he truly found his niche at guard.
Okay.
Okay, so Jonah Williams, Ted Karras, address your center. Okay, you have Alex Kappa who could play right guard or left guard, so it's versatile. And then remember the guy I was talking about last year, Jackson Carman, the guy who was projected to be a 4th rounder and they picked in the 2nd round.
Maybe.
So
I feel like we talked about this on draft.
Yes, we've talked about this a couple times. I think if he has a year of development, because he was kind of their 6th guy, I think now his natural position was left tackle. I think they're going to try to slide him to the right tackle, see what they can do there. And then if they don't address the center, I really don't know what they're going to do. But I think they get Linderbaum.
It's looking tough for the O-line, so it's scaring me a little bit.
I feel a lot better about it.
It looks like they're trying, but they need to do better. You're the Bengals. You just went to the Super Bowl. You have cap. Go spend money. You know what I mean?
I think
if they do something, excuse my language, because I'm gonna go crazy for a sec. If they do something fucking stupid, like sign Julio Jones to a shit ton of money, I'm gonna lose my mind.
They won't.
It's such a Bengal thing to do, though.
I don't think they will. No, Bengals are notoriously cheap.
But look, now they're like, oh, receiver. If they do some bullshit, like sign a big tight end to some money or make a push at Gronk and overpay him or something, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah.
They need to spend this money on the offensive line and their corners.
Yeah.
It has to
and
happen.
here's the thing, Cam, I agree with you that they need a right tackle for sure. But again, like I said, I think they're going to try to move Jackson Carman there because they didn't spend a 2nd round pick on that guy for nothing. Okay, and honestly, I give them an A- because I am a little upset that they didn't make a move to sign CJ Uzomah. Okay, like by no means is he a world beater.
That's where they should use their money.
Yeah, by no means is he a world beater, but he was a quality starting tight end for them. Okay, he made plays, and I know that you're a little bit more worried, but me personally, I feel a lot better about this Bengals offensive line. Karras is rock solid. He's not like some Pro Bowler, but he's rock solid. Alex Kappa has a Pro Bowl ceiling, which I feel really good about. Jonah Williams is the only guy from last year who'd I keep on that starting line.
I don't know.
And then, so Jonah Williams is pretty good. He's not a world beater, but he's somebody who can be a starter for a little bit.
They need to make more moves at the offensive line for sure, whether it be the draft or the rest of free agency.
Yep, and that's what
Again,
I'm saying.
I don't get very graphic on the podcast, and we keep pretty PG. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind if they do something stupid, because that'll be year 2 where we're like, okay, Joe Burrow's gonna die.
I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna happen this year. If they draft Lindenbaum like they're supposed to, yeah, I would have resigned Uzomah. I agree with you, Cam. I think they should have resigned Uzomah. Okay, but the way I look at it, like, now, the only thing, in my opinion, that they really absolutely need is a center, which I think they can draft Linderbaum. And if they do, they're good there. And then Jackson Carman's going to move. So There's
always some guy out of Notre Dame or Iowa that you can draft.
Yeah.
There's always a center out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Every year.
Country
Wisconsin,
some country strength guy.
The farmer strength. He's there.
Yeah, so
every year.
I don't know, man. I feel a lot better about this Bengals O-line than you do.
I'm still iffy. I'm still because they got a lot of money, Gino. Yeah. They got a lot of money. They need to do more.
So maybe go after Teron Armstead then.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe go after Teron Armstead.
I'll move them up to an A if they make that move.
Yeah. And so the only reason I didn't give them an A-, like I said, is because I don't think there was any reason to get rid of Uzomah. Okay. Sure. I mean, to see he's only getting paid $8 million a year. I mean, for a starting caliber guy, you keep and you pay $8 million a year, especially for a guy who reportedly loved being in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So that's the only gripe I have. If they don't get a center, I'm going to be a little bit more concerned.
If they overpay a tight end, I'm going to lose it. If they throw money at something ridiculous, like
Watch, they're gonna get Jared Cook.
I'm telling you,
They're gonna get Jared Cook,
if
watch.
they sign Jared Cook for something stupid like a 3-year, like $30 million, $40 million deal, I'm gonna be like, what?
Jared Cook's old, so we wouldn't take that money. But if they do, I'm with you. I'll kind of be a little pissed,
Yeah.
especially if they don't address the center.
Dude, if they sign
Whoops.
Gronk to like, they're gonna do. I'm telling you, this is the Bengals thing to do. I hope they don't do it. If they sign Gronk to like a $50 million deal,
No fucking
they,
way.
dude,
No way.
they have the money, Conti,
No
and that's
way.
what scares me.
They're being
they,
smart with their
They
money.
have the money to do that, and I don't like it.
The Bengals are being smart.
Take away their money.
I give the Bengals an A-.
Joe Burrow needs to walk in the front office, flex his scars, and walk out as a reminder, because they're gonna throw money at. I don't know.
I don't know.
I digress.
I feel a lot better than you do about this. Well, I really do. I do.
It's just because of their money situation. Because
Yeah, but I
you
mean-
know they got cash. They got to do something.
But
I
you
don't know.
also got to take into account the free agency class next year. 'cause
That's fair.
Look, who
and also they're not done.
Yeah.
The Bengals have way too much money to be done.
yeah, and
Like,
what was their,
they had top 5.
and
They've
you-
spent what?
and you look at it.
35, 18. They haven't even spent 100 mil.
Yeah.
They have a bunch in money.
Yeah, and you look at it like, what was their biggest problem on the offensive line? The guard play. And what did they do? They got a starting caliber
Sure.
guard and they got a Pro Bowl caliber guard.
That's fair.
Like, boom, there you
That's
go.
fair.
And then
I still think their tackles and corners need work.
yeah, and I believe their corners. Yeah, they should have drafted the corner, but I think they can get McDuffie. I think Trent McDuffie will slide to him, and I like him a lot. But
Maybe they get Teron Matthew.
they may
I don't-
do.
I
They
don't
could
know.
get Teron Matthew. They could.
Good.
You know, but hopefully he goes
At
to the
that
Jets,
point,
so I'm right about
he's more of like a
something.
nickel. Like I don't
No,
know.
he's a safety.
Yeah,
Tyron's
but
a
he
safety.
plays he plays up front more than you would expect.
He can. You know, he can do a lot, but his natural
He's
position is safety.
versatile. Yeah, no, it
Yeah,
for
he is
sure is
versatile.
safety. But
So,
who do you
I
want
mean-
to move to next?
I mean, what do you gotta talk about the Bills, man. We have to
Yeah,
talk
okay,
about,
we do.
We have to talk about
That's
the Bills.
true.
Yeah.
That's got to happen. Yeah, big time moves. I mean, before the podcast, I don't have a grade for this one because it just happened. But look,
Give me 2 minutes. I got water.
for sure, I will say, the Bills are ready to win a Super Bowl. In my opinion, they are ready to go out there and win a Super Bowl. And in my opinion, they're a top 3 team in the AFC and probably a top 3 team in the league. I really like the Bills. If you remember last year when we talked about, the schedule and blah, blah, I thought the Bills were going to be very, very good.
You can
Listen.
definitely hear me in the mic. Give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna get a water.
It's
it took
okay.
me 5 seconds.
I was wrong. I was wrong. The Bills were good this year. I had them going like 14-3 or something.
I think you had them going 15-2.
I might
and
have.
Josh Allen winning MVP.
I had them being ridiculous, which don't get me wrong. Josh Allen, I was right about Josh Allen. He had some superhero performances this year. The defense wasn't very good, and I love this comparison that I hear when I watch sports radio all the time. Specifically, I forget who it is. I think it's Colin Cowherd. He says the Bills are the Mike Tyson of the NFL right now. They have the knockout punch, and they can hit you with the knockout punch, but if you drag them out, it looks tough. Exactly what it is. The Bills have that knockout punch. They have Diggs. They have big-time playmakers. We love Gabriel Davis. We talked about him on the show a bunch. And, for me, look, you get Von Miller. I mean, you got a lot of I'm seeing a lot of D tackles getting signed here. OJ Howard's okay. I mean, he's probably still.
That's
I like
a prove-it deal. That's a prove-it deal.
I like Dawson Knox still.
Yeah, a 1-year prove-it deal for a guy who really has kind of underperformed, who was thought to be a really damn good
I like
tight
the
end coming out
McKenzie
of Alabama.
re-signing. I mean, in my opinion, I'm not going to give him an A because, like I said, if you have an A, you have to do something really special, in my opinion. But these are great moves, and I think the Bills are ready to win a Super Bowl.
I'm gonna give them a D+.
Wow.
I'm gonna give them a D+.
Wow.
Okay. Von Miller, big name. Okay. He is about to be 33 years of age. Like, before the season starts, before week 1, the first whistle, he is gonna be 33 years old. He is going to be 33. I do not understand why you give him a 6-year, $120 million deal. Do you not understand that, yes, he had a very impressive playoffs, and I'm not going to refute that. First of all, he's been there before, so he knows what the hell to do. He's
Twice.
a veteran. Yeah, he's been there before twice, so he knows what to do. Anthony Everett to the Raiders.
Does that just happen?
Oh, did it just happen? That's a good one. That's a good one. Anthony Everett's a pretty good guy. So
We got I know we only got a limited amount of time. We should just go the full hour at this point. There's so much to talk about.
That doesn't matter, bro.
The
That's fine.
Raiders too. We got to get into
Chandler
the
Jones?
Raiders a little bit later.
Yeah, dude, we always usually go an hour. But anyways, why Do you not understand? I know it's only, what, 40 mil guaranteed? By the age of 39, you are going to be paying this man $20 million. Not only has he been there before twice, he had Aaron Donald, who gets doubled and triple teamed. Meaning you, a Hall of Fame defensive end outside linebacker, need to get a one-on-one against mostly a right or a left tackle. And there aren't many elite, like guys to your level tackles in this league. Do you not understand how ludicrous it is to pay this guy, like, not only is he like 6 years younger than he is, okay, but to a 6-year deal, 20 mil, like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
He's pretty good.
He is pretty good. Von Miller at this point in his career is still a Pro Bowl defensive end or a stand-up outside linebacker. I will repeat, Aaron Donald is a once-in-a-lifetime talent. He was getting triple and double teamed.
If it wasn't for LT, he might be the GOAT of defense.
Maybe. Well, it remains to be seen.
And we're still going to have that conversation when he retires. Absolutely.
It remains to be seen,
yes.
But we'll see. The only thing you had to do as a Pro Bowl guy was win a one-on-one matchup. And besides the playoffs, he didn't even do that in the regular season by the trade deadline. Well, I'm sorry, I'm raising my voice and getting mad.
I'll defend the Bills. I'm going to defend the Bills here.
D+.
Okay, I'll defend the Bills, and I'll defend the Von Miller pick like this. You have a lot of young guys you're not yet paying. You have Greg Rousseau. You still have a couple of young corners out there.
Trey White got the bag.
Sure.
And then Poyer and Micah Hyde, too.
They got the bag, too?
Yeah, Poyer and Micah Hyde got the bag.
My point, you have all your guys locked up. You have young guys, and like I said, yeah, you got a Pro Bowl level pass rusher, like he's saying, and they have the money to do this. And honestly, if you're the Bills,
8 mil over the cap.
That's fine.
Well, they only had 8 mil, and now they're over the cap.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. You know why? Because the Saints are minus 40 over the cap. So being 8 mil over the cap is fine.
And the only thing they've done is sign Marcus May, and it wasn't even that lucrative of a deal.
Yeah.
So again, Cam,
I'm not saying I love this deal. And look, it's not like the Bills don't have a defense though. They have a solid defense. They play decent team defense. They just didn't figure it out until the end of the year. The defense needs work. You need that guy. And Gino types now. You need that guy. I think Von Miller is a guy where you slip in day one. He leads that offense. He's a leader. Guys respect him. Gregory Rousseau will come to him, in my opinion. I like this. And I know you don't because of the money, but I actually love this.
It's ridiculous. So he's going to get paid. Again,
no, I understand.
When
I completely understand your
9 years old, you are going to be getting paid elite level money. James Harrison was only decent. He's the only guy at that really position who played till he was 39. Yeah. Let alone be good. James Harrison was still okay.
But the Bills are ready to win a Super Bowl this year.
I understand.
This year you do it.
I understand that well, but
I totally understand your positioning, but I think it's fucking stupid, so I'm going to disagree.
But I know, I love you too. But let me reiterate, dude.
I get what you're saying.
Can I 100%. Please tell you and explain? I don't need to, but I'm going to say it. How easy your job is when you're a Pro Bowler and you have Aaron Donald also on the line.
And I totally understand.
There is nobody like Aaron Donald in this league now, and for the last decade, there hasn't been a guy like Aaron Donald.
But do you think he's just going to suck when he goes to the Bills?
I don't think he's going to suck. I think he'll still be a Pro Bowler, but not $20 million a year and not the difference maker like he's being paid to be.
See, you're looking too far in the money. I only look too far in the money. And
his age,
that's
and the fact
but
Aaron
the Bills
Donald
are ready to win a Super Bowl now.
If
you can get Von Miller right now, and that be your only move the off season, and you go -8 in the cap, fine. That honestly,
I made a mistake. They had $8 million cap space, and they just I guess they're -12 now.
Sure.
So they're -12 over the cap.
I still take that. I still do.
So what?
I still like it.
So listen, with everything that's happened in the AFC West too, with the Broncos, with the Chargers, you have to understand that they are, in terms of name value on defense, as stacked as some of these other teams now.
The AFC's a bloodbath.
That's what I'm saying. So
there are so many good teams.
You have to take into account, Will, obviously I think they're going to win their division again. Okay, but you have, unfortunately, the Chiefs, who are still going to be there. Okay, you have the Chargers, who
Are we talking about the AFC West?
Yeah, the AFC. The AFC.
Okay.
Like, this is just getting out of the AFC. They could make it to the title game again, but who's to say you're going to beat the Chiefs, because they didn't. Okay,
They were close.
They were close, but the fact of the matter is, the record book's not going to say they were close. It's going to say they didn't.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I agree.
They still maybe have the Chargers. Okay, they to beat the Broncos probably. Okay, so there's 3 teams in that division. Okay, like if they face, listen, hear me out, please hear me out. The Steelers have a great defense.
They do.
Okay, and I don't think Mitch is going to be anything great there offensively. Okay,
we can talk about Mitch too. I want to do a little bit.
The Bengals, they just made it to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
I have questions on whether or not they'll be as good as they were last year, but here they are. They're primed to make another run. Okay, if Cleveland gets Deshaun Watson, Cleveland will have to get past Cleveland.
Yep.
You're telling me, so I listed how many teams, like 6 teams there? Yep. You're telling me
not even mentioning like the Patriots, the Colts, the Dolphins, who
the
are all
Colts,
going to be playoff contenders.
Exactly. Like so you're here telling me, so Von Miller is like a 33-year-old defensive end is going to be the thing that gets you past the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos, the Dolphins. The Steelers are a great defensive team, not offensively. Okay, the Bengals.
I think they're going to be better.
The Bengals, the Browns, the Patriots, the Colts, the Dolphins. You're telling me that Von Miller is going to be the thing that puts them over the hump with all of that?
I brought up the quarterback list. I mean, just the quarterbacks in... Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
just the quarterbacks in the AFC we talk about. Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, Herbert, Mahomes. We'll go through Joe Burrow, Derek Carr, Lamar, Mack, Baker... Jimmy G's probably going to the Colts. I mean, that's where I think he should go. Ryan's, he's okay.
Well, the Titans, I didn't even mention the Titans.
Yeah, they're good. You still got Tua, who's okay. Carson Wentz is NFC now. And you still have young guys. You still have Trevor. I mean, Daniel Jones is, we're not throwing him in there.
Well, he's in the NFC anyways.
Yeah, exactly. But,
and then we have Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch there now. So, my point, if you're a good team, you have a good quarterback. And... if you got those good quarterbacks, man. So if you got one near the Bills, it's time to win a Super Bowl.
We just listed almost the entire conference, Will. And we said we think that the Jets are going to be an improving team.
Yes.
So you have an absolute monstrosity of teams who legitimately can compete in the playoffs. Okay, an unprecedented
all those teams that we listed have a shot to win a Super Bowl, in my opinion.
We'll see.
Maybe not Miami or
Cleveland.
Yes.
But we'll see. So you have a lot of teams who obviously might not be Super Bowl caliber team, but you saw the Bills made it to the AFC title game and they lost to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Okay, so if they lose to that bad, and they lost to Pittsburgh week 1. So, dude, like, you're telling me a 33-year-old Von Miller, who had the easiest job in the world to win a one-on-one because a absolute once-in-a-lifetime talent was drawing 3 other guys.
I think he's still a beast, man.
He's going to take them. But answer this. Is he going to be the deciding factor in the Buffalo Bills beating all those teams that both of us just mentioned?
Could be. I mean, this defense gets a hell of a lot better with him.
They get better. Yes, I'm not going to argue
and at that point, you do it.
But for
if you can get better, you do it. When you're ready to win a Super Bowl and you can get better, even if you overpay, which, yes, this isn't overpay, I still think you do this. I do this 10 out of 10 times.
I don't like it
easily.
I don't like it at all.
That's
I don't see the logic in it.
That's fair.
I don't. So, Tom Brady's in the thumbnail.
Yeah,
so
we'll talk about Tom Brady. I mean, we were wrong.
Yeah.
we did a whole episode about Tom Brady. This changes nothing. He's still the GOAT. I mean, we'll take a look at the Bucs real quick. I mean,
they got Russell Gage.
Like we said, the NFC is not going to be very good. Specifically, his division is trash. Saints don't have a quarterback figured out. Panthers don't have a quarterback figured out. And the Falcons, okay, maybe you go and get Deshaun, which I think Atlanta's probably the best spot for him, in my opinion. I would like for him to go to Atlanta over everything else. They do well with controversial quarterbacks. They've had with... They do great. But, yeah, exactly. But, yeah, I mean, for Tom, if you're seeing this division, I mean, why do you not come back, right? No. You get Shaq Mason, who is a reliable guard. Russell Gage, good wide receiver.
A good number 3 guy.
Good number 3. Chris Godwin is probably going to be back, and he's on the tag, so I like that. Perryman's not a bad sign either. I don't mind that one.
He's okay.
Especially for a 1-year deal, sure. I mean,
and his play style is good for an Arians offense, too.
Absolutely. I think Gage will be good for an Arians offense, too, because right now he's, in my opinion, the Chris Godwin replacer for that slot kind of guy.
We'll see. And then Carlton Davis, I mean, I believe that was a good, or very, very
Yeah,
good,
that's
and
good.
very important re-signing.
I love all the like these were good moves. I like them. But the Bucks didn't do anything massive.
I mean, I give the Bucks an A.
Yeah,
Really, I give Tampa Bay
I
an
mean,
A.
you just got the best quarterback of all time.
And you get Shaq Mason for a 5th-round
Yep.
pick. Especially when
you
you're
keep most of your core.
This is how, that's called going all in when you need a Super Bowl.
Sure.
Getting a Pro Bowl caliber guard for a 5th-round pick who was also familiar playing with Tom Brady. Getting back Ryan Jensen, the Pro Bowl center, and then Carlton Davis, who was an ascending
Keeping
cornerback.
Godwin.
And getting Russell Gage, which is,
That's fair.
I think Russell Gage is going to surprise a lot of people
That's
this year.
Can we talk Cleveland real quick?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of Cleveland. Okay, so look,
We can't.
I've got some Baker notes to talk about here. We talked about it a little bit last time, and I just want to get into it a little bit more now. So reports came out that the Browns are pretty much done with Baker Mayfield. It seems like at this point they were looking into Deshaun, and even though they only looked at Deshaun, I mean the signal has been flared that they want Baker Mayfield out of there. And look, Baker Mayfield is not a bad quarterback, and I hate that people are doing this. We talked about it. He is a Pro Bowl quarterback. This year,
At his best.
At his best.
He's a pro. At his worst, he's a starter.
Sure. Yeah. So he's not a bad option. If there are quarterback situations that are worse than Cleveland. I mean, this is just Cleveland being a bad organization. It's what they do. This is what bad organizations do. You go and get. This would be like if the Patriots were shopping like Matt Corral right now. There's no reason. It's what the Seahawks did back in 2017, which rubbed Russ the wrong way, where they looked at Josh Allen. It's like, you have Russell Wilson. Why are you doing that? It's what bad organizations do, and I don't like how they're doing it. Yeah. First of all, Baker Mayfield, before his injury this year, was 3-3, and those 3 losses were, I believe, to Arizona. Oh my God, I'm going to blank on them now. I totally remember them before this. But they were good teams. Trust me. I'll look at
sources. Trust me, bro.
Trust me. They were to good teams though, and one of them was in a shootout. I don't remember the teams. I'm sorry. His passer rating was in the 90s before his injury. He had a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, and underrated. He played through the injury, which not a lot of guys could do. I loved Baker's thing that he posted on Instagram saying, "If you go all in on me, I'm all in. I'm all in on a team. I don't look for the way out." Which we saw that he got injured. He didn't look for a way out. He played through it, even though he didn't play well. That speaks volumes in my opinion. I think Baker's a good QB, and some of these moves, I mean, I don't know.
The way I look at it, it's arrogant. It's nothing but absolute utter arrogance.
I don't like the Jakeem Grant deal.
I don't mind it. He is a Pro Bowler. He's a Pro Bowler. I mean, realistically, 14 mil. So that's about a little bit under 5. About 4.5.
I like the Amari trade.
Yeah,
I like that.
I don't mind the.
I don't like releasing Jarvis Landry right after, but
I mean, he's doesn't really thread the needle, and he doesn't do much, and he was getting paid a decent amount of money, so I don't hate it.
Sure.
So
that was my Baker rant. I had to go on.
You're fine.
Because his Instagram post last night, I'm like, okay, people who think that Baker Mayfield needs to be shipped out is ridiculous. There's no reason for them to go for Deshaun Watson. Makes no sense. It's not a fit.
And let's clarify here. We're not saying that Baker Mayfield's a Hall of Famer or anything.
No, he's
but
not.
He for
and
sure.
Let me keep in mind, Deshaun Watson is better than Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
But right now you have Baker. I mean, you're still not paying Baker. You got to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You're not paying him.
And that's why you're allowed to bring some of these guys in, especially Amari.
That's
Cooper,
why you're allowed to bring in Amari
deal.
Cooper and cut Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, can I go real quick about the Eagles?
Absolutely.
I have one thing to say about the Philadelphia Eagles. F.
Yeah.
F. Absolute F. 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 Their big move, Hassan Reddick, 3-year, $45 million deal. Do you know
Jason Kelsey's good too?
Yes, resigning Jason Kelsey, good. Okay, and Greg Ward as well. Okay. Do you understand that Hassan Reddick, before Cliff Kingsbury and them came in, before Cliff Kingsbury came in, was considered an absolute bona fide bust? Okay, they put him at the outside linebacker position, like a true outside linebacker, not a stand-up guy who rushes. Okay?
The Brady Nicholson outside linebacker.
Yeah, the Brady Nick outside linebacker position. That's what Bruce Arians did with him. Bust. Okay? Hassan Reddick is now proven and has the reputation of being somebody who, in a blitz-heavy defense, as a strict outside linebacker rusher or just a hands-down defensive end, will get a lot of sacks. Okay? Where did he go to? Carolina and Arizona. Those are two teams who are extremely blitz-heavy. Do you know where the Philadelphia Eagles rank in terms of blitzing?
Probably pretty low.
Bottom 2 in the league. Bottom 2 in the league. And you are giving $15 million to a man who is specifically and has established himself at this point in his career as a man who only is good in a blitz-heavy defense. And you give him $15 million a year. Where the hell is your common sense? Philadelphia Eagles get an F for me.
That's fair.
F.
Last one.
F.
Mitch, because just going to mention it.
We'll talk about Mitch.
So Mitch is my last person I wrote down. He was one of my side grades. Mitch to Pitt, I give it a B+. In my opinion, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're not overpaying for a quarterback, and you have a guy who, Mitch Trubisky, we got to remember, he was a Pro Bowler. Was he carried by the defense? Yes. But I also didn't like him in that Matt Nagy system. They stuffed him in the pocket. Mitch moves well. He moves well. He's able to get outside of the pocket. He's got a big arm, and he wasn't accurate when it got cold in Chicago, but he does have that big arm, and I think he can be accurate with it. And if you're the Steelers, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
At this point, why not? Why not go get Mitch for what? 2-year, $14 million?
Yeah, I mean, why the hell not?
Why not? I mean, you figure out your quarterback situation for now. This isn't a quarterback-heavy draft. I like them doing this rather than reaching for like Kenny Pickett in the draft.
I like them doing this rather than what Washington did, taking on a huge contract from Carson Wentz.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, I posted on my story, I go, take notes, Washington, and I tagged them. You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Listen, again, like, by no means am I saying this is going to be huge, but you also have to remember, Mitch can actually run a little bit. He can run a little bit. So that brings
He's not a statue.
Yeah,
he's a decently athletic dude.
Yeah.
He's not going to get out of the pocket and
you don't have design
run for a
runs
first
for him.
down. Yeah, but guys who he can get out of the pocket and he can make big time throw. That's the type of quarterback that's why they're still in the league. You know, he's not in the league because he's incredibly accurate with the ball or because he's some great decision maker. Those were his two knocks. But he makes plays where his highs are really high, but his lows are low.
Yeah.
He makes plays where he rolls out of the pocket and he throws absolute darts, and then he has plays where it's Mitch who you throw into. Under Tomlin, I think that gets better. I like the move.
And no disrespect, like, he can't be that much worse than Big Ben was last year.
No, absolutely
you know what I mean?
not.
He can't be that much worse. Okay?
Worst case, you throw Dwayne Haskins out there, get a top 5
or
pick,
Mason Rudolph.
and you draft Bryce Young the next year.
Pittsburgh is incapable of having a losing season.
That's
very
true.
Yeah, so Pittsburgh's incapable.
That's
so
true.
I give my personal grade. I give them a B. Okay, you said you give him a B+. I give him a B. I'm not trying to be like I'm different, but like
no, it's fair.
Yeah, I give them a B. I don't see any harm in it,
fair.
and if it works out, cool. Maybe you have a guy you can keep for a couple of years. If it doesn't, then
that's fair.
But I mean, I will say if the Steelers really have thought long and hard about it, okay, Mitch Trubisky's good. But there is one guy out there that's looming in free agency right now. I forget his name, who would have been a lot better. Wait, what is it?
I think it's
John Bro!
Peace, ladies and gentlemen.